Okay, so back with part 2 of this ZOhulu book unboxing. Basically, my camera said I used up too much space the first time. So this video is now a part 2 and possibly a part 3, depending on how much space I have. So we went through the very first section of the notebook. Again, the ZOhulu book. Now, I also realized that this is literally the Hulu logo with ZO in front of it, but as we've ascertained from the first video, this book is likely Chinese or Chinese made, so you know stuff happens over there. That's we ain't gonna talk about that. All right, so I have the very first memo page after going through all of the opening pages. So this is what they all look like. You have your days of the week. They record the weather if you like, memo number, date. So memo number, probably for me, I'd use that just for like the subject. And this is what all of the pages look like. Trying to make sure things are in focus. So once you hit that first page, this is what they all look like. Okay, all the way to the back of the book, so you get your end pages. All right. Now, one thing I did notice in between videos is once you get to the center, I think this is the center of the book, and then turn the page. Oh wait, maybe that's not it. Hold on. Well, what I found was that there were 2 pages that were stuck together, and it might have been this, and I had slowly pulled them apart, and I did it very carefully to try to make sure that I didn't tear anything. I thought it was still more stuck than that, but maybe I fixed it, so I should have done that on screen. But just something to be aware of. For the most part, they have very good division, like, you know, any other notebook. Oh, wait, here it is. Yep, here it is. All right, so I think that might be the middle of the notebook. And then afterwards, there's some stuckness here. So I will, after I'm done filming, I'm going to try to pull it apart very, very slowly. So far, that's really the only manufacturing error I found. I haven't written any yet. I was going to wait for the video for that. So aside from that, so just if you decide to get one, beware of possibly stuck pages. Alright, so this is the Frixion pen. So this one is by Orton Book. And some Chinese characters there. So Frixion, and I hope I'm saying it right, are pens that are made for these erasable notebooks. So top off. Oh, and here on the tip is the eraser. Okay. All right. So as we normally do, test. All right. Now I know with the Rocket books, you had to wait a good 15 seconds to make sure stuff dried to the paper. So this is what we're looking at. Looks like some decent ink. Okay. Not rubbing off. Although I can feel the writing. I don't know if that's because it's raised with the ink or if it's been indented from the pressure. So we'll see. Alright, so now I'm going to attempt to erase it with just the tip of the pen. And whoa, look at there. It's erasing pretty well. Yeah, I put a bit of pressure into it. So I would not recommend trying to erase an entire page with that. Alright, you can still see a bit of the, yeah, you can still see a bit of the residue there. But, you know, for mistakes as you're writing, not too bad. Alright, but again, you can see this is completely used now. It does not go to feeling completely, like completely blank just upon erasing. So, the other thing is you are able to erase full pages, the entire book with damp cloth. So, now that I've done it with the eraser, I'm going to use a damp cloth and see if that makes any difference. Oh, yes indeed it does, because now I can't tell where it was. I mean, I can tell from the pressure, but yeah, that's I'm gonna get in really, really close here. Let me try to focus. I love it'll focus this close to see if you can find where I had written the word test. If you can find any indents. So I think you can tell kind of like in this area is where it was. But it definitely doesn't have that raise, that feel it had before. Slightly, it's still there. But I'm gonna let it dry off a little bit. It still feels cool, so I'm gonna try to wipe it off with the dry part. So yeah, it can still feel a little cool right now, but gone. All right, so we're gonna write another page. So, good morning. I hope you're enjoying this video. All right, my general handwriting there, and you know, it's neat enough. All right, so in fact, what's today's date? 12/9/17. Test. It is Sunday, and it looks pretty sunny outside. So sure, it's sunny. All right, so all these markings are in here. Give it a few seconds. And so before I erased it with a damp cloth, now I'm gonna use a damp paper towel, just because, you know, you don't know what you're gonna have on hand. People don't really walk around with claws all over the place. All right, so erasing. Sorry, make sure you can actually see what I'm doing. Erasing. All right, so I can still see a bit of the indenting from the writing. Also, I can feel pieces of the paper towel. So paper towels are not a good idea. So we're gonna go back to the cloth, wipe off the paper towel little pieces. So I think what's happening is that I'm also getting pieces of the ink. I don't know. I feel like it feels really gritty. Like it feels like like there's some grit on the paper. So I'm not sure if that's from the paper towel or from the ink itself, but I wrote a lot more this time. Okay. And I can definitely see indents this time from, oh yeah, you can definitely see it from where I had written. Okay. So the ink is gone, the indents are still present. So I do wonder, I want to say the pages are up to 500 uses. We'll see about that. My intention with the notebook is to be able to just use it repeatedly. Like, I'm very good at writing down just random ideas and then moving forward, fleshing them out, and then, you know, I would need pages for more ideas. Also, as a creative writer, first drafts of poems or short story ideas that would require a lot of erasing, starting over, adjustments, all of that kind of thing. So I will say I'm a little concerned about how many times I really would be able to use these erasable pages before they just started to kind of not be useful anymore. Okay, so yeah, I think at this point I just feel the indenting. Excuse me. I think that kind of scrubby feel before was from the paper towel, so do not use a paper towel to erase your stuff. All right, and I purposely got a paper towel to check, to test it. All right, so I'm gonna do one more test message. Let's see. I think it's something right. Rick and Morty is an awesome show. If you know what Rick and Morty is and you like it, then you know we're kindred. If you don't know what it is, don't bother asking me. Just Google it. If you don't know what it is, I don't even know if it's something you would like, because if it's something you would like, you'd already know. All right, back to the focus. So I also got cotton pads, as a tester for erasing. I just want to try it with different materials to see what really would be the best. So erasing with the cotton pad. And again, very clean. I still feel a little bit of some kind of residual something there. Alright. So again, clean. The indents are still there, so you know this is clearly a used page now. And I probably should have stuck to the first page and I have a randomly used page in the book. And just for the heck of it, I'm gonna go down to this clean section where I haven't written anything, and I'm gonna write something here, preferably on the line, and just hello. And then I'm gonna go back and clean it with the cloth to see if I can feel any kind of like, I'm not even sure how to, so like this right here, that's from the paper towel, so that's something I would feel as I was cleaning up the first time. Like I said, just kind of like dust, residual. I don't think you can really see anything on my fingers, nah, but I can feel it. Yeah, that's the thing, I can feel it. All right, so one more time with the cloth. And so it might be just the residual ink as it's being broken up and removed. That might be what I'm feeling, but a cloth is definitely probably your best bet. Do not use a paper towel, it'll be messy. But again, unless you're looking really close at it, and I see the indents from the very first message, which, you know, it makes sense. It's not going to be like a whiteboard, which they do have whiteboard notebooks, but I don't like writing on whiteboard. I want to write on paper, whatever that paper is made of. Okay, so I think that is about it. We've done our writing test. I took you through the first few pages of the book. Here's a you know, divider bookmark for the last page you went to, or you know, however you want to use that. So to go back to the notebook itself, oh, how many pages is it? Honestly, I can't remember how many exact pages it said in the description. I want to say maybe 64, either 64 or 100, but this is the thickness of it. You get a substantial amount of paper. I believe this is loosely 8x6, so it's very portable. You know, you can go and just toss it in your bag, and if you carry a, you know, pocketbook or a purse, as long as it's not a tiny one, then it would fit in there. You know, throw it in your sling bag. I have sling bags, your book bag, whatever. So very portable. Again, the cover is very nice, very smooth. Okay, in terms of size, so this is my Kindle, this is the notebook. So it's definitely not huge. Again, the thickness here is can't focus that. I'm trying to do these videos with one hand. Well, you know it. You don't have to focus to see how thick it is. But again, a lot of decent pages. And then the frixion pens, from what I understand, you know, the ink will run out at some point. I don't know how long they tend to last, but I saw packs of them on Amazon, and they didn't seem to be horribly expensive. Probably as much as your average pens. In fact, do these write regularly? Let's see. Oh, okay. So yeah. I'm sure they don't erase on on regular paper, but you know, it's a pen. I would recommend just saving it for your erasable notebook, because you can use other pens on your erasable notebook. Don't use a regular pen on here, it will not be erased. Alright, so that's about it. Like I said, very, very smooth cover. I have no idea what that's made of. Definitely some sort of synthetic material, but good to the touch. Probably easily, like, it'll probably get marked up with use. But, you know, that's what things do. So again, the ZOhulu book, I got mine off of Amazon, $29.99 at time of purchase. So if you are interested in an erasable notebook, I think this is a good purchase. And like I said, I think if you saw in this, let me find that piece of paper. So this is one of the papers that came with it. So it talks about number 2, recording your notes with an app. The app is Cam Scanner. I think I tried to get that app and it was old, or I don't know. You know, you can just find out for yourself. I will also just recommend using Evernote and doing their page capture function. There is a notebook called Moleskine that is for Evernote, but it was essentially the same thing. You take a picture with Evernote. You don't need to have a specific notebook to do that. You can do that with any piece of paper. All right. So I hope this video, well, both of these videos were useful. Sorry for them being a bit long, but you know, wanting to walk you through it completely. I'm going to just go ahead and adopt this into my writing life and see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching. Be blessed.